So for people to come at me and say that I made those comments because I'm a racist, like, first of all, black people can't be racist, but like, that's the farthest thing from my mind. Like, I grew up in a very small West Texas town, predominantly white. My best childhood friend is white, went to predominantly white college, won a national championship. Pretty much everyone on the team was white. Like, we're sisters to this day. Like that's not a part of my DNA. I have like no issues with Caitlyn. Her breaking the record, I think obviously is a tremendous accomplishment. But I think what Caitlyn has done for not just college basketball, but for women's basketball, period, I think has been great. The following, people watching the game, sellouts that we haven't seen ever.
The repercussions may be dramatic when a basketball legend abruptly brings up race in a conversation that no one asked for. Sheryl Swoopes just dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the sports world, claiming that people were making it a black versus white issue because she was the first to mention race. The four-time WNBA champion may have finally crossed a line that she can't back down from, and the internet isn't letting her forget it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel today, where we're breaking down the shocking controversy that has the entire basketball world talking about WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes and her remarks about rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, which many are calling racially charged and completely unnecessary. If you've been near sports media in the past few months, you know that Caitlin Clark has completely revolutionized women's basketball, and we're talking about record-breaking viewership sold out. Arena stuff was flying off the shelves, and the WNBA instantly attracted millions of new fans. The league has had to relocate games to bigger venues because to Clark's enormous influence. This isn't just growth, it's an explosion. However, as Clark's star continues to increase, there has been an odd undercurrent of opposition from some WNBA veterans and media figures, with Sheryl Swoopes, one of the most accomplished players in women's basketball history, leading this pushback. In recently released audio, Swoopes made a number of remarks about Clark that many fans find perplexing at best and purposefully hostile at worst. The comments are going viral on social media. Swoopes was talking to other media personalities about the response to Caitlin Clark joining the league. What should have been a basketball game quickly took an unexpected and unsettling turn when she brought up an incident involving Diamond, the Chicago Sky's Shields, and Caitlin Clark during a game against the Indiana Fever. After the Shields fouled Clark during a routine basketball play that occurs dozens of times in every game, she reportedly received hateful messages from fans, some of which made reference to Des Shields' prior health issues, including a tumor she had fought. Swoopes clarified that she had responded to an athlete who was being harassed online with a perfectly appropriate statement, "Diamond, we're here, we got your back, keep being you," but then Swoopes made a move that has caused many people to question her judgment. She stated that they believed I was discussing the foul, but it was actually about a person, a human being, and her life. As a result, they came after me and said, "Oh, you're just a racist." What's remarkable about this exchange is that no one in the conversation had brought up racism or framed fan criticism as a black versus white issue until Swoopes herself did so. Social media erupted very instantly as a result of behavior swoops that successfully altered the entire tone of the conversation. Fans pointed out that Clark herself has never once brought up race in relation to her WNBA experience. She hasn't put herself in opposition to any players, she hasn't complained about criticism from veterans, and she has consistently shown respect for the league's history and its established stars. This recent incident isn't the only instance of veterans seeming to target Clark. Even before she played her first professional minute, when she broke the NCAA all-time scoring record during her senior year at Iowa, Swoopes appeared on a podcast and made a false claim that Clark had played more games than previous record holder Kelsey Plum, implying that Clark's accomplishment was somehow exaggerated or less legitimate. In actuality, Clark played fewer games than Plum, which makes her achievement all the more remarkable. Clark would be humbled by the WNBA's suggestion that her college success wouldn't transition to the professional level, according to an interview with Diana Taurasi, another WNBA legend. According to ESPN analyst Chinny Ogumi, Clark's success and fame were due more to her privilege than to her exceptional skill and work ethic as a former player. According to Lexi Brown, WNBA veterans were fed up with the attention Clark was getting. This strange criticism started before Clark had even donned an Indiana Fever jersey. The pattern was so clear that both fans and members of the media started to wonder why prominent WNBA figures seemed so unwilling to support a player who was bringing their league unprecedented attention. What's even more confusing is that Clark's ascent is objectively good for everyone in women's basketball. The numbers don't lie. Television viewership increased by an astounding 200% at the Indiana Fever's home opener. 85% compared to last season's home opener. The night Clark was drafted, 2.45 million viewers tuned in, a 37% increase from the previous year's draft. Ticket sales across the entire WNBA are up dramatically. This increased attention means more revenue for the league, higher salaries for players, better broadcast deals, more lucrative sponsorships, and greater overall visibility for women's sports. Every player in the WNBA, regardless of their team, stands to benefit from this explosion of interest. So why the resistance? Some observers have suggested there might be resentment that a rookie is receiving attention, that veterans worked years to attract. Others point to the uncomfortable reality that race often influences sports media coverage. But whatever the underlying reasons, bringing race explicitly into the conversation, as Swoopes did, only serves to create division where there could be unity. In the recent audio, Swoopes did acknowledge some positive developments in women's basketball. She noted the financial progress the league has made since its inception, pointing out that her first Nike contract in 1997 was $175,000, while today's stars like Clark and Wilson are signing deals worth up to $20 million. When we begin the meow ED in 1997, I never imagined that I would be sitting here discussing how far the game has advanced and the huge contracts that female basketball players are currently signing. According to Swoopes, this recognition shows that perhaps Swoopes is starting to see that she's not alone, and her influence on the league is positive. There are signs that other veterans and media personalities who were initially critical of Clark are starting to change their tune as they witnessed the tangible benefits of her popularity. The Indiana Fever, who finished with the worst record in the league last season, are now viewed as legitimate contenders. Every Fever game has become must-see, not just for Clark's performance, but for the entire team players who share the court with Clark. Both teammates and opponents are getting increased exposure, media attention, and endorsement opportunities. The entire league is being elevated by the new audience that Clark has attracted. What makes the situation especially perplexing is that Clark herself has been nothing but respectful toward WNBA veterans. In interview after interview, she's spoken about the pioneers who came before her, expressing genuine admiration for what they accomplished and the foundation they built. She's been humble about her own abilities, focused on improving her game, and has consistently tried to deflect attention to her teammates, rather than keeping the spotlight on herself when asked about criticisms from veterans. The racial framing that Clark has introduced in her recent remarks is especially concerning because it creates an artificial division at a time when women's